It is not painted on the wall. That's an iron pipe. There you see it. And look at our bullpen. And the ball then bounced back in fair territory rather than off to the right into the Pirate bullpen.
This is the Golden Triangle of Pittsburgh, and there's a light on tonight. The fourth time in the history of the city of Pittsburgh as all the office buildings have their lights on to celebrate the first night game in the history of the World Series. Here on the banks of the Monongahela, the Alleghenies, they join to form the Ohio River. And you're moving now into one of the most beautiful new parks in baseball, Three River Stadium. Yes, sir. Welcome to Three River Stadium as NBC Sports, a service of NBC News, presents Game 4 of the 1971 World Series. The American League champions, the Baltimore Orioles, versus the National League champions, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy of NBC Sports. This is Bob Prince, the broadcaster of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and my NBC Game of the Week partner, Tony Kubek, will be roaming the stands tonight with his comments. And for our first night game, we have a beautiful night. 72 degrees here. It's warm enough to, well, you don't need a sweater or a top coat tonight. Not much wind. And you know, it seemed odd today to be standing around a hotel lobby in the afternoon waiting for the World Series at night. We've had 397 World Series games played before this one, all in the daytime. And here we are. And we're glad you could be with us, all of us at NBC, and you fans not only across America, but around the world for this historic event. Now, let's move over here to Bob Prince of the Pirates, as they won yesterday to get back into the series. Bob, you've been with the Pirates a long time. You were in their clubhouse after the game yesterday and today. What's the feeling of the Pirate team now?
Well, Kurt, after two crushing defeats at the hands of the Baltimore Orioles, and of course they were really crushed in Game 2, they felt they turned the momentum of the Baltimore club around a little bit and gained some of their own. They picked up a lot of confidence, and the result is that they're raring to go in this game tonight.
And, of course, the Orioles, well, they seem to win graciously and they lose graciously. Not much to say. They had a 16-game winning streak snapped. And in this ballpark, you're going to see here tonight the largest crowd in the history of Pittsburgh baseball.
Yes, standing room only. Only 1,000 seats went on sale at 6 o'clock, and they were gobbled up real quick.
The Pirates have played well at home. They led the National League in home victories with the artificial turf. How about the lighting here, Bob?
That might be a bit of a problem to the center fielder, particularly for Baltimore. They're not used to it. It's a different angle on the lights, and it could cause him some trouble on balls that are lined right directly at the center fielder.
And we've had a couple of changes. Right-hander Paul Blair goes to the outfield to start in place of Buford tonight for Baltimore. A right-handed hitting catcher, Etchebarren, will be behind the plate. Danny Murtaugh has Hebner and Oliver, left-handed batters, in his lineup to try and get as many lefties as possible. Let's take a look now at the starting pitchers for tonight's game. And right now you're looking at the Baltimore right-hander, Pat Dobson. He was acquired in an off-season trade last winter from San Diego to strengthen the Baltimore depth. And strengthen them he did as he became a 20-game winner. Baltimore became the second team in the history of Major League Baseball to come up with 4 20-game winners. Pat Dobson for Baltimore. From New Boston, Texas, James Luke Walker. Luke Walker won 10 games and lost 8. He has not pitched since September 22nd. Dobson has not started a game since September 24th. The two of them might be question marks tonight.
Yes, that's very possible. One thing, Chris, I would say this, Kurt, they don't like to try to catch this fellow because he moves the ball all over the plate. If he can get it over, he's very tough to whip, and you might see some pop-ups and ground balls tonight.
The first night game in World Series history. One of the men responsible, the Commissioner of Baseball, Bowie Kuhn. Mr. Commissioner, one of the most exciting highlights in baseball history today.
It is a historic first, really, Tony. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it because I think it's going to produce, my prediction is it will produce the greatest television audience for a sports event in the history of sports. I look for over 60 million Americans to be tuned in. I think they're out there now. And we have over 1,000 people from the various sports media here covering the game. There's been nothing like that in the history of sports. It's an enormous event.
What about plans or future plans for World Series play?
Well, we're so satisfied that this single night game is the right thing to do that next year we're going to have the 3 weekday games on at night so that you'll have Saturday and Sunday day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. And that way, the fans of America, the people who work, the kids in school can see the whole thing if they want to.
Mr. Commissioner, a packed house here tonight. What about, of course, this ball game tonight? And I'm going to ask you for a prediction.
Well, I don't make predictions in the World Series or almost any other time, but I understand you did, incidentally. I understand you picked the Pirates in 7.
Well, I just feel that the Baltimore Orioles team is going to have to start scoring some runs because Pirates look like they're going to start hitting the ball around.
Well, the Pirates can hit, and Baltimore has got tremendous pitching. As commissioner, I usually take the position I'll be happy to see 7 games and settle for whoever wins in those 7.
Bowie Kuhn, Mr. Commissioner, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
Game 4, the first night game in World Series history. And the tranquility of the riverboat belies the excitement of the occasion. The fans sound off.
Tonight game, I think it's the best thing that ever happened. That'll give everybody a chance to see the game.
Different spirit altogether.
It's all right if they have like one a year.
I don't know. I think it's something different.
I think it's wonderful.
Great decision by the baseball people.
It's the best thing that could happen.
I wish I could make it.
What I think of night baseball, it's all right. Thomas Edison would have loved it because he invented the lights. Me, I have other things to do.
Inside the Allegheny Club, there's more than one way to see a ball game. On the field, Stan Musial, joined by the missus, and Pittsburgh Vice President Bing Crosby, who also has a few hits to his credit. And now the ceremonial first pitch of Game 4, and the honor goes to one of the all-time greats of the National League, Stan Musial, a Hall of Famer, 7-time National League batting champ, 3,630 hits in his career, and a lifetime batting average of .331. That's his wife alongside, Lillian Musial. And on Stan's left, Bing Crosby, one of the owners of the Pirates, along with Mr. John Galbraith, the principal owner. And, of course, right here from Pennsylvania, Stan Musial is from Denora, Pennsylvania, where he was born and reared. There's Bing. So the fourth game of the 1971 World Series being brought to you from Pittsburgh as the Baltimore Orioles meet the Pittsburgh Pirates. There are 6 umpires assigned to World Series games. Tonight behind the plate, Ed Bargo, who lives in Butler, Pennsylvania, by the way, about 30 miles from Pittsburgh. Jim Odom working at first base. John Kibler at second base. Nestor Shilak at third base. Umpiring the left field line will be Ed Sudol, and the right field line will be handled by John Rice, who was born in Homestead, Pennsylvania, a suburb of Pittsburgh. There go the Pirates on the field. Now we'll take a look at the electronic scoreboard here and set them up defensively for you. Stargell's in left field for Pittsburgh. Oliver's in center field. Clemente right field. Third base is Hebner. Shortstop will be Hernandez. The second baseman is Cash. The first baseman is Robertson. Sanguillen is the Pittsburgh catcher. And Luke Walker will be starting tonight for the Pirates. That's Luke Walker warming up. And to tell you about Luke and take you along with the detailed play-by-play action of the first half of this game, the very popular and competent broadcaster of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Mr. Bob Prince.
Thank you very much, Kurt Gowdy, and hello again, everybody. Now you see Luke Walker warming up here and in slow motion. He's right over the top, as you can see, and one of the very rare things about him, he cannot throw a ball straight. There isn't anybody on the Pirate Ball Club that likes to warm him up, including the catcher. He does not know where that ball is going to go. It can run in and away from any type of batting, and normally when he's right, you'll see a lot of pop-ups, strikeouts, and certainly an awful lot of ground balls. Now, as pointed out a little earlier, he has pitched 12 no-hitters in high school, and he attended Paris Junior College in Paris, Texas, and Texarkana Junior College. This is his 9th pro season. Began with the Boston Red Sox organization. And on the year for 1971, he won 10 and he lost 8. His last game he pitched on September the 22nd. He worked 6 innings against the Cardinals, and he helped clinch the division championship.
Bob, it'll be interesting to see if the Orioles will be taking against him. He has a history of control problems.
Yes, he definitely has that. Now, here's one of manager Earl Weaver's. Thank you, and enjoy the viewing. Paul Blair, Earl Weaver having made a bit of a switch moving Blair, a fine outfielder, into center field. And the strike is there. They will now stop this game and give this ball to the Commissioner of Baseball, Bowie Kuhn. And that later will be then enshrined in the Hall of Fame. The Commissioner of Baseball now receiving that baseball, and that'll be enshrined in the Hall of Fame where Ken Smith presides in Cooperstown, New York. The first pitch on the first night game of the World Series, brought to you on NBC. 0-1 to Blair. Ran away from him, a ball. Blair has one hit in the World Series. Went in defensively the other day, picked up a base hit. And it's a base hit into the slot in left center. Oliver coming on, and so Blair continues to bat 1,000 in the series, his second hit in as many at-bats.
He hit a curveball.
Now the very fine shortstop of the Baltimore Orioles, Mark Belanger, batting 200 in the World Series. On the regular season went for 266, no homers, 35 runs batted in. Been quite a juggling in the lineup with regard to batting order. Belanger was batting 8th. Now up to the number 2 spot. Bounces off the right side. Cash, a beautiful play, and he can't make it. Cash getting over to get to the ball.
This has scored a base hit. Cash got to the ball. He was trying to shovel the ball from his glove to his shortstop. He's there. But as he got the ball out of his glove, it slipped away from him. That scored a base hit. Cash did a remarkable job getting to the ball to keep it from going through. So the Orioles have a quick threat already, top of the first inning.
So at 2 on, here is Merv Rettenmund batting at 231, 1 home run and 4 runs batted in the series. You saw flashed there on the screen his average for the year. Bouncer for the hole, and Hernandez flags it down, and he has no play, but he saves a run. From the hole side of shortstop, Hernandez getting it on into second.
Wide range here by Hernandez. And this ball really takes off like a jackrabbit on his hard artificial surface. Throw too late at second base for the attempted force. And now the Orioles have the bases loaded, nobody out, and their cleanup batter, Frank Robinson, up. On the firing line for the Pirates, on a history-making night, Luke Walker. Paul Blair leading off, gets the first hit, followed by 2 more, courtesy of Belanger and Rettenmund. So Walker's dug a bases-loaded hole for himself.
Outfield necessarily very deep and around to the left. Ball. In his last 6 series games, 3 this year and 3 last, he's had 13 base hits for a 520. Fastball or a wild pitch, and the run will score as the other runners move up. We'll await a ruling here as the ball get away from Sanguin.
And when this pass ball skips through, Baltimore's on the board. That's been scored a pass ball by the 3 official scorers, a low inside pitch that skipped off the mitt of Sanguin. It wasn't an easy chance, but the scorers figure that he should have handled it. Now they're going to put Robinson on with first base open.
Well, this started out when Paul Blair hit what appeared to be a hanging curveball for a base hit. Then Belanger picked up the base hit off the second base side of the diamond when Cash attempting to shovel the ball along over to Hernandez covering there to get the out and did not. Now here's another tough man, Brooks Robinson, batting 500 in the series. High fly into shallow center. Oliver coming up. Tagging at third is Belanger. And he's going to try to come in under a strong throw, and he's in there, and everybody moves up a notch. So Robinson makes it 2-0 on a long fly to center. Belanger scores the second run. Give Brooks Robinson a run batted in. Move Rettenmund over to third after the catch, and Robinson up to second base. And now the only left-hand batter in the Baltimore lineup stands in Bowie Kuhn. That ball's hit very deep into center. Oliver going way back. And he's there, and that'll score another run. And now coming over to third on the play will be Frank Robinson. They make the throw, but he's in there.
He starts over in his dugout down. You and I are going to run for the clubhouse.
Get your pitch, Booger.
The drive is run down by Oliver at the warning track, but is good for a 3-0 lead. That's it for Walker. And with the Orioles still hitting in the first, the kid comes in. Bruce Kison, a big leaguer for just 3 months.
Bruce Kison, who is about 6'5", he says he weighs 185 pounds. There are those who doubt that. He pinched the final game in the, or not the final game, but the big clinching game out there for a victory against the San Francisco Giants when he came in relief, pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowing only 2 hits, striking out 3. His first outing against Baltimore was indeed a very rough one. He walked a couple of batters at the wrong time for him and the Pirates. The bases were loaded at the time. He's 21 years of age, born and lives in Pasco, Washington. He was 10-1 for Charleston when the Pirates brought him up, and in the Major League season, 6-5. Watch him throw there. The whiplash throw reminds you a little bit of Ewell Blackwell's delivery.
I was about to say that sidearm stuff can be rough on right-handers.
He goes to Dave Johnson, batting .250 in the series, and there's a bouncer to Hebner at third. On to Robertson, the inning is over. And so at the middle of the first inning, the score is Baltimore 3, the Pirates coming to bat. So Baltimore jumps on top, and now we'll set the Pirates defensively, or the Baltimore defensively. That's Merv Retman in left field, Paul Blair in center, Frank Robinson in right field. At third base, Brooks Robinson. Shortstop, Mark Belanger. Dave Johnson at second base. Boog Powell at first base. Behind the plate, Andy Etchebarren. And on the mound is Pat Dobson, who won 20 and lost 8. Now, he, like Luke Walker, has not had a lot of work. And his last outing occurred on the 28th of September when he worked 2 innings in relief against Boston. His only relief appearance, by the way, of the year. He goes to Dave Cash. He's had 2 hits and 13 at-bats. Batted .289 on the season. Ball. Dave is a thinking man's hitter. 3 balls and a strike. He puts him on. Now Richie Hebner, batting .333 in the World Series, has 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. High pop-up in the infield, and shortstop Belanger settling under. 1 out. Here is Pittsburgh hero Roberto Clemente. He has hit safely in 10 World Series games. And he took 11 years to get that string going. And that time he picks him up on a strikeout, and that's the second out of the inning. First strikeout of the game. Now we see Davey Johnson playing a deep second to him. He's back on the synthetic turf. The outfield around to the right. There you see the infield, the way it is overshifted. And Belanger's not quite behind second, but he's way over. Ball. Stargell has hit quite a few home runs to the opposite field. There is no park that can hold him when he gets his pitch. There's a base hit to right center field. It may be in the gap. It is. It's going to go in there, and Cash is fast. He's on his way.
This ball is bobbled in right field by Robinson, but I don't believe it would have made any difference. On the artificial surface, it scoots right through. Frank Robinson couldn't play the carom cleanly. And finally, it's the center fielder, Paul Blair, who picks it up and fires in. But Dave Cash is already into the dugout with a score. The Pirates are on the scoreboard, and Stargell's at second.
Baltimore's fourth starter is a fourth 20-game winner, Pat Dobson. And quickly, the Pirates get back in the ball game.
Get in the hole.
Stargell strikes the first Pittsburgh blow behind a walk to Dave Cash.
Three balls, two strikes. And it's a bloop. Hit out in the shallow center field, and they'll not get it. And it's over the head of Blair. And Oliver will go to second, and it's 3-2.
Now here's a new trend in baseball, the artificial surface. Watch the bounce on this Texas leaguer that drops in. Normally on a grass outfield, that would just dunk there. But look at the high bounce, and Paul Blair, not used to playing on this surface, the ball bounced over his head, and that gives Oliver an extra base.
Pop on over at third, Ollie. That's in there, boys.
And the kangaroo bounce off the synthetic grass makes it a two-base hit. Stargell scores. The Pirates down by one, and Weaver up again.
Listen to me now, you got good stuff. But you're grunting on every pitch, you hear? Nice. All right, nice, I know it. Nice, easy motion. A pretty good hitting ball play. Got a good fastball. Put it in good spots. And then throw the breaking balls when they're not looking for it. You don't know when it is. Stargell just guessed. But nice and easy. You hear? Pop at the last minute. Everything at the last minute. Now relax. You'll be all right. You get out of here. That's all they get.
Dave Leonard is the right-hander, and Grant Jackson the left-hander.
And, of course, Kurt, the other advantage the Pirates had there, with two out, Stargell could run. With less than two out, he would have had to hold up on that one for fear the ball would be catchable. And that is part of the break of the game. And again, the Pirates are showing their two-out run-scoring ability as Big Bob Robertson. I suppose you know by now he missed the bunt sign yesterday and hit a three-run homer. Gets slowly off the first base side. Dobson to Boog Powell. But the Buccos come back with 2 runs on 2 hits and leave a runner. And at the end of 1, the score Baltimore 3 and the Pirates 2. On the left of your screen is Billy Hunter, born in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, known throughout the world as Groundhog City. Senior Baltimore coach, and he's in his 8th year. And on the right, George Stoller, born in Rutherford Heights, Pennsylvania, now lives in Harrisburg, the Commonwealth capital, managed in the minors for 14 years. And I think that pitching coach George Bamberger must be looking in, Kurt, a longtime friend of yours and a great coach for the Baltimore Orioles.
That's right. He suffered a heart attack. He's in a Baltimore hospital, recovering nicely, they say, and watching the World Series game tonight. So the Orioles are in the World Series without their pitching coach, who helped develop that staff of 4 20-game winners, the first staff in the majors to have 4 20-game winners since the White Sox of 1921.
And Kurt, in your Game of the Week coverage, did not Bamberger predict that Baltimore would have 4 20-game winners?
He predicted it early in the season, in April. Right on the nose, he called it.
Here's Andy Etchebarren in his first appearance in the World Series of 1971. Batted .270, 9 homers, 29 runs batted in. The pitcher is Bruce Kison in relief of Luke Walker. A ball. Walker's log in 2/3 of an inning, 3 runs, 3 hits, no strikeouts, and 1 walk. This young man determines that he'll be married on the 17th of October, and he'd like to be late for his wedding. Bouncer down to Cash. See how fast that ball got out there? On to Robertson, 1 out. Kurt was talking about it, I'm sure, over in Baltimore. Young Bruce Kison and his bride-to-be announced their wedding plans as the 17th of October and found out about a week later that Game 7, if it goes that far, will be in Baltimore. And Buccos would like to make it go 7 and let Kison worry about the wedding later. This is Pat Dobson. Good night. Kison has his first strikeout. And there are 2 away in the Baltimore second inning. There is Earl Weaver. And you can't say too much about him, Curt Gowdy, a magnificent manager with a fantastic managing record.
He's taken the Orioles 3 years in a row to at least 100 wins and still hasn't won the Manager of the Year award in the American League.
Ball 2, strike 2. Little bloop off the end of the bat might drop. It will. Watch Clemente now get tripped by it also. And throw back into second, and Blair has his 3rd hit in as many at-bats in the World Series. Hit it right off the end of the bat and blooped it in there. And Clemente that time obviously was fooled.
I think Clemente had ideas of making a diving shoestring grab for this, and then at the last 2 or 3 feet had to give up. The ball bounced over his head. That's the second one on the artificial turf that has bounced over a charging outfielder, and it's a double for Paul Blair.
Been some peculiar base hits thus far. The Orioles have had 2 infield singles and a bloop double. And the Pirates have had a bloop double. Popped him up. Bobby Robertson at first wants it. That'll stow the Orioles away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And we go now to the bottom of the second inning, and the score, Baltimore 3 and the Pirates 2. This telecast is presented by the authority of Major League Baseball and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. That beep beep you hear in the background is for Manny Sanguin. He's known as the Roadrunner here, batting at .319 on the season. Jammed on the pitch down to Brooks Robinson. Boog Powell and 1 out. Striding in now, and your picture is Jackie Hernandez, obtained from Kansas City in an off-season trade with pitcher Bob Johnson, in which the Pirates sent Freddie Patek, Jerry May, and Bruce Dow Kenton there. Hernandez was not to have started tonight, but Gene Alley came up with an ailing knee. And there's a drive toward left center and right at Paul Blair.
Fans tonight are watching probably the best defensive center fielder in baseball, Paul Blair.
He didn't want to hit that one, and Kison feels his position. To Robertson, the inning is over. So it's 3 up and 3 down for the Baltimore Orioles, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd, and they lead the Pirates by the score of 3-2. Dave Cash, he walked in the first inning and scored a run. Bounced down to the shortstop, Belanger. Boog Powell, and 1 away in the Pirate 3rd. Baltimore 3 and the Pirates 2. Here's Richie Hebner. He popped up to short in the first inning. You'll see that his right hand is right over the plate. You would think you could jam him. A base hit to right center. So Hebner gets the 3rd hit off Dobson. And with Baltimore leading 3-2, the roar is for Roberto Clemente.
Bob, you mentioned Clemente has hit safely in all 10 of his World Series games. Hank Bauer of the Yankees holds the record for consecutive hitting streak in the World Series. Hank hit safely 17 World Series games in a row.
The outfield around to the right on Clemente. The gap is still off the first base side now with Powell holding to Hebner. drive to right field, slicing, and it's a foul ball.
And Clemente is going down to argue with the right field umpire, John Rice. And there goes the first base coach, Don Leppert. They thought that ball hit the foul pole for a home run. That's Leppert, the first base umpire, arguing with Rice. Clemente, when he crossed first base, ran down the line, and he's standing arms akimbo looking down. Just foul, said the right field umpire, John Rice. Clemente's been hitting those drives to deep right field all during the series. Watch this now. Here's our rerun. Drives it deep. The ball starts to slice. I don't know. What do you think, Bob?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to look at it again, but the way the ball bounced, it bounced to the left as though it hit the pole. The thing is, the ball hit something out there, and it's an unusual thing. Kurt, if the ball is slicing and is foul, you'd think it would go to the right. It bounced back in. You'd have to look at it again one more time, but that ball bounced. Look at it, and it comes back out in fair territory. That's a tough call.
In the third, more trouble for Baltimore. Hebner's on first with a single. And now Clemente tags one. Well, what is it? The umpire, John Rice, says foul. And here comes Murtaugh.
We're having a general conversation.
Yeah.
The ball just missed the white line by that much, Dan.
John, that bullpen don't think you're right on that side.
I know, but none of them were out there except the one guy now, Dan. And he's looking this way, and I'm looking right here. Doom, just missed. If I call it the other way, I got an argument by the other guy.
Well, what do I care about that?
I said that's how close it was.
Well, that's idiotic. In other words, you don't want them to argue.
Let's play it again, Sam. And this time, look at the men in the Pirate bullpen, especially the one in the extreme corner. He turns away. And who turns away if it's fair?
I'll tell you another thing, Kurt. Our bullpen is absolutely berserk out there. They couldn't believe it. There is that foul pole out there. It is not painted on the wall. That's an iron pipe. There you see it. And look at our bullpen. And the ball then bounced back in fair territory rather than off to the right into the Pirate bullpen.
I don't think we can really call it on that rerun.
I don't think so either, Kurt. It was close as fuzz on a tick's ear, though, I'll tell you that.
The Pirates, of course, are going to lose the argument. And when this is all over, it's just a foul strike. Off the bat of Roberto Clemente. Pittsburgh's unhappy. They thought that was a two-run homer. There's Danny Murtaugh. He nearly swallowed that chaw backy on that one. And now a fan has jumped out of the stands. An irate fan is being escorted back in. He's mad. That's Hebner at first. And Clemente had gone to the bat on deck circle to get his bat. A crowd on his feet, still unhappy at the right field umpire, John Rice. He had a very difficult call to make on that drive down the right field line.
In his defense, too, Kurt, on a ball hit like that, as far down the line as he is, he has to turn very quickly, and he doesn't get the chance to really get a good beat on it. Well, it's still 3-2 Baltimore with Hebner at first base. No balls and one strike, and we've had our first real serious rhubarb. And there's a base hit to right. And Hebner will go to second and hold. And here's Stargell.
And Clemente continues to play brilliantly in every department in this series. Here's Earl Weaver. Here's Clemente again. He's just come up with his sixth hit of the series. Look at him cock that leg. Reaching it outside pitch and stroking it to right field. 5 of his 6 hits have been to right field.
And this time, Clemente settles for a single. The 10th straight series game in which he's hit safely. Hebner pausing at second.
Stargell squeezing that bat and holds it right down on top of the knob. Etchebarren wigwag signals out to the gaze and the set to Dobson. The 2 runners are checked. 2-2er. Popped up into shallow center. Back is Belanger from short. On comes Blair. It's Blair's call, and it's Blair's put out in shallow center field. Out number 2 in the Pirates' 3rd inning. And here is Al Oliver. Oliver, a left-hand swinger off the plate. Line drive, right field, base hit. Hebner rounding third, coming home. Frank Robinson's throw is cut off, and the run scored. Ties it up 3-3.
Meanwhile, the expectant bridegroom has been firing bullets.
Robinson hit by a pitch, still on at first base. Kison working left-handed foul, pulls the ball right to Bob Robinson at first base. Well hit ball, he steps on the bag, and that's it.
And just enough scatter arm to keep the birds loose. Belanger escapes, but 3 don't. Three-winged batsmen. No other pitcher in World Series history ever bagged that many in a single game. And if Kison isn't rough enough on the hill, the 6'4" rookie goes for more, trying to take out Dave Johnson on a double play. And in the confusion, he tries a Baltimore cap on for size. Kison comments on the play.
I wasn't trying to hit Johnson. It was just lack of base running skill on my part, more or less.
In the bottom of the 7th, Eddie Watt comes into a 3-3 game. Robertson starts something. Now Sanguillen. The pinch hitter is Vic Davalillo. Blair, after a long run, drops his twisting fly. Robertson makes it to 3rd, but Sanguillen, with a big turnaround second, is nailed.
The ball is popped up out in the short center field. Ball bears on its way over, and is there.
He dropped the ball. Here's Robertson is stopping at 3rd. There's a jam up on the bases. Sanguillen's hung up. Sanguillen is out at 2nd. Sanguillen nearly passed Robertson on the bases. And he's tagged out by Mark Belanger. Or Dave Johnson tagged him.
All right, here it is again, and now you're going to see this thing we told you about, those lights peering over his left shoulder, and I'm sure that bothered Blair, and he drops the ball there. Now Blair's going to pick it up quickly, and Sanguillen, who's a very daring base runner, is going to be caught out there by Belanger and tagged out by Johnson. And that is an extremely big out as Earl Weaver again has come back to the mound.
Paul Blair, you saw something unusual when he gets to a ball and can't hold on to it. He's charged with an error. Blair's charged with an error, but he really made a recovery to get that ball back in the infield to the relay man, Belanger, who sized up the situation and flipped to Dave Johnson, who tagged Sanguillen. Sanguillen twice now has been cut down between 2nd and 3rd. Bob Robertson wound up at 3rd. Milt May now, a young left-handed hitting catcher, is going to bat for Bruce Kison. And on 1st is Davalillo. The Orioles have just made their 8th error in the series.
Boy, the Pirates certainly have had all kinds of scoring opportunities, and it's not just this game tonight, Kurt. It's been every game they've been in.
Milt May hit .278 this year, 6 homers, 25 runs batted in. He's only 21 years old, a brilliant prospect for the future for the Pirates. Ball 1. He would be playing regular on most clubs. What are they going to do with him, Bob? Are they going to make Sanguillen into an outfielder?
They've been talking about it, but then they tried him in the winter ball. He ran into a fence and got hit with a line drive. They don't want to try that anymore.
There's a drive into right center. It's a base hit, and the Pirates take the lead. Coming in to score is Robertson. May singles to right center. Davalillo goes to third. And the Pirates, for the first time, are in the lead in this game.
Two out now, and the pinch hitter is Milt May. It's a tie-breaking single for the 21-year-old rookie catcher. And somewhere, there's a proud father who used to play third base as Pinky May.
Well, they finally got the timely hit. And now, Gene Alley goes in to run for Milt May at first base. May gets a big hand as he trots into the Pirate dugout. He came through. Well, the two heroes right now, 21-year-old Bruce Kison, who pitched a brilliant relief job tonight, and now Milt May, who's delivered the go-ahead single. 4-3 Pittsburgh. Two down, and Dave Cash up with runners on first and third. Eddie Watts low with it for a ball.
He had to select a game, Kurt Gowdy, to send all over the world for the first night telecast in the history of the World Series. I don't know how you could select a better one.
That's right. That everything. There's a drive into right field that Robinson moves back for. And that's all, but the Pirates took the lead in their lucky seventh. They had 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left by Pittsburgh. At the end of 7, it's Pittsburgh 4, Baltimore 3. Dave Justy now is on, trying to protect the Pirate lead. The pitcher of record, though, for Pittsburgh is Bruce Kison. And the 21-year-old pitcher went 6 1/3 innings in relief, allowed only 1 hit, no runs, didn't walk a man, struck out 3, set a new World Series record by hitting 3 batters. He's the winner if the Pirates hold the lead. What about Dave Justy, Bob?
Well, he was 5-6 on the year, but that doesn't really tell the story. He had 30 saves. He was the saving pitcher in the clincher for the Eastern Division title against the Cardinals. He was the saver in the clincher for the National League Championship. And against the San Francisco Giants, he appeared in all 4 games.
Three 3-1 pitch to Belanger. Right in there to him, 3-2. Notice he's up on that bat handle a couple of inches. He's out. 1 away in the 8th. And there's we told you tonight would be the largest crowd in the history of Pittsburgh baseball, and it was. 51,378. Standing room only tonight here in Pittsburgh. And the lights on in the Golden Triangle for only the 4th time in the city's history, except for the Christmas celebrations, in honor of the first World Series game at night. All one. The city of Pittsburgh downtown is aglow tonight. There'll be further aglow if the Pirates win this one. A 1-1 pitch. Ground ball drilled to Cash at second. Over to Bob Robertson, 2 down. Frank Robinson been walked intentionally, struck out, and been hit by a pitch ball. 0 for 1. 4-3 Pittsburgh. 4 runs, 13 hits for Pittsburgh. 3 runs, 4 hits for Baltimore. A pop up to the right side by Frank Robinson. Cash says, "Get out of my way." I got it. 3 up and 3 down for Baltimore. And we're going to the last of the 8th inning as this Pittsburgh crowd goes wild with a score. Pittsburgh 4, Baltimore 3. 1971 football highlights. There they are. We're doing the NFL during the regular season, the postseason, the Gator Bowl, Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, and Senior Bowl, all on NBC. Richie Hebner up in the last of the 8th inning. There's a long drive and a deep ride, backing up. Robinson on the warning track, right on the edge of it for the out. 1 down. Clemente has struck out, single to right, single to center, and walked. 2 for 3. I'll swear he's going to twist that neck off sometime, Bob.
Yes, and he's only started to do that in the last month or so. Jesus Alou, you'll recall, has that. He has a nerve affliction, and Bobby just does that. Well, you talked yesterday about his 12 pressure points. He's a real student of anatomy, and particularly his own.
4-3. Pittsburgh ahead in the last of the 8th. The Pirates went ahead in the last of the 7th. 1 out, nobody on. A strike to Clemente. The Orioles got 3 runs in the first. The Pirates bounced back with 2. The Pirates tied it in the 3rd. And then went ahead in the 7th. Clemente played well over to right again. Powell guarding the first base line. A bounding ball. A long throw here by Belanger, off balance. And not in time. Clemente beats it out.
That is the 4th hit off Watt. And that is the 14th hit by the Pirates. And here comes Earl Weaver.
Now the Bucks call on Dave Justy to lock it up. And Powell's foul pop tells it all. The World Series is all tied up. And the Pirates, unlike the Elephants, didn't come home to die.